Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honor to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who grew well and teach well, being great example to us younger brothers. Peace and blessings to those who elect, Lord willing to be a part of that number. I'm the brother Qadar from the GMS branch of Chicago. Come back with another video. This video is going to be a review of this movie that came out. All right, Mercy. All right, and it's about AI. All right, and it will be a spoiler alert. Okay, this guy right here sitting on that chair was framed, for a crime that he didn't do. Okay, and he basically was on trial with AI, and they used the so-called evidence that they thought they had, in order to put him to death. And he had about an hour or 30 minutes to prove his innocence, in which he was able to. To do that, but it's going into AI in general, and how when he was in the process of providing the proof of his innocency and convicting the real criminal, they were using everyone's cameras. They were able to tap into everyone's files. It's what we expect, and I like watching movies like this because we don't just watch, you could watch a movie for entertainment, but, I like to watch movies with meaning to it, like ancient world movies or movies like this, so it was, watch it with a spiritual eye, of course, when, yeah, man, the movie was, it was a good movie, and it was a decent movie, man. I wanted to grab this, there's this Revelation, the 13th chapter, man, because we in those times, okay? This is Revelation 13 and verse 14. It says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." All right, and those miracles, man. Okay, that's a part of those miracles. All right, this devil will be able to place a device to someone and they'll be able to walk again. They'll be able to use a synthetic limb again. They'll be able to, they can be paraplegic, a vegetable, and move their body parts again, using it. We're in those times. These people are going to be like, oh my goodness, this devil is a genius. They're going to fall for the okie doke, go get their ass destroyed. Okay, it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Okay, because the pagan Roman Empire did fall for a certain amount of time, and then it came back into power, during the Renaissance period. All right, you had the bubonic plague, the Black Plague, which killed 2/3 of the Israelites over there in what they call Europe, which is Western Asia. Okay. You had 1453 where Constantinople was taken down by that dude Mehmed the Conqueror. All right, he was an Amalekite, an Edomite, an Amalekite Muslim. Okay, one of the Khazarians, that converted to Islam, and they took over the Constantinople, the Western Roman, the Eastern Roman Empire. Where Jake was ruling. Okay, 1453. All right, and they changed it to Istanbul, Turkey. So a lot of those people are Amalekites. All right, Muslim Amalekites. And then you have 1492. All right, where the last stronghold of Granada was taken down. And Esau was getting Jacob out of there, man. So his kingdom came back. He went forth to deceive the nations again. By the iconoclasm. Okay, committing blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. All right, let's keep reading. It says, verse 15, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." All right, and this is the image of the beast. This whole MOTB system. Okay, and you can see it in the movie, man. They were tapping into everybody's information. All right, every camera, everyone's backyard camera, everyone's front camera. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't get down with this devil, you're going to be ostracized. You're going to be put to death. Okay? says, verse 16, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so that mark goes to the Greek word for charagma. Okay, which goes into the RFID chip. Okay, let's keep reading. I'm gonna grab it. It says that no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, and that proves you how it's not a fucking embargo, or it's not Christianity, or it's not a white woman. You know, you guys are bugged out. The Lord ain't dealing with you. What that nigga Nate be saying, you moron. You know, it says, here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, you go into the Greek word for stigma. Okay, and it's gratis. Galatians, the 5th chapter, real quick. 5. Chapter 5. It switches by itself. And 16. So like it now. Let's see. It actually might be 6. I'm tweaking. Let me see. Yep, that was the spirit. You know, that was me tweaking. You know, that was the spirit. Galatians 6 and verse 17. You know, the Lord like, I'm trying to help you out. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. This Galatians 6:17. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushua. And we could grab his word for mark. As a matter of fact, let me grab an AMP first. Okay, it says, from now on, let no one trouble me by making it necessary for me to justify my authority as an apostle and the absolute truth of the gospel. For I bear on my body the branding marks of Yahushua, the wounds, scars, and other outward evidence of persecution. These testify to his ownership of me. And let's grab that word for mark. It goes to stigma. Okay, it says a mark pricked or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their masters, or a commander branded or pricked cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. All right, so if you take that hip, you belong to Esau. You flipped the Most High off, and you told Esau, I'm dealing with you. I'm rocking with you. I believe in your kingdom. And for that, you're going to get destroyed. Okay, it says, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in a way with a token of their gods. Okay, so if you take this, you're basically saying Esau is your God. Okay. Let's grab this Revelation 13 and Revelation 13 and 17 is word from Mark. It goes to charagma. Okay, it says, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach. And there's billions of anti-Hamashiach. Anybody who don't take that, anybody who take that chip is anti-Hamashiach. All right, anti-Yahushai. All right, it's billions walking around today that's anti-Yahushai, man. You know, and let's go one deep, man. Let's go into this word for karaks. Okay, because it says a pale palisade. Okay, a pale steak palisade. So that's something that's going to be incision in you. This is actually something that's going to be put in your body, cut into your body. And the scripture says, make no markings in the flesh. Okay. So those who take the hip is going to be destroyed. Okay, this is Exodus 21 and verse 1. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master had given him a wife, and he shall have borne him a son or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself, right? Because the master gave it to him, you know. But let's keep reading. It says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children. I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him into the judge. He shall also bring him to the door. Okay, or into the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Okay, so you niggas who take the C hit, man, y'all taking that spiritual awl. Okay, you niggas conceding to Esau, Edom, and his spiritual awl, man. You know, you letting him know that you dealing with him. You belong to Esau. You know, that's what you letting them. That's what you telling the Most High. Okay, and there's judgment for taking this chip, man. All right, Revelation 16:2. I'm gonna get straight to the point. And the first went and poured out his veil upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Right, because your body is naturally gonna fight that shit off. You know, if it's an invader, you know, your body's gonna push that them white blood cells, you know, to try to get it up out of there. You know, it's gonna, especially when this devil turns up that 5G, that 6G now, that radiation. You know, all type of pus coming out. You know, it's gonna be swollen. It's gonna be hurting, irritating. You know, that's part of the judgment that come with it. And this is the ultimate judgment. Okay, this Revelation 14 and verse 8. Okay, it says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. Babylon fallen is fallen, that great city. Okay, speaking about America, because she had made all nations drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All right, it is this whole world has drunken of the wicked philosophies of this devil Esau Edom. Okay, he's made the whole world drunk off his wickedness, man. Okay, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, okay, give me 1 second, and his image, and receive the mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink. All right, so it don't matter where you receive the chip, in your forehead, your left hand, your right hand, it don't matter. All right. Okay, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his right hand, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this is the judgment of those who bow down to Esau Edom and take his chip. You're gonna be fucking destroyed by those missiles, man. There's no escaping that. You know, so it's just a review, you know, of this movie Mercy, man. You know, it was a heavy movie. You know, I suggest brothers watch it. You know, Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to those who like, Lord willing, to be a part of another. Shalom. Kwame Asherah, Baba.